What's going on, people? Back with a bang. This is the Money Management, back here to bring you guys another weekly watch list today. So in this video, I'll be looking at some stocks which I'm watching for this upcoming week, but I also will recap a few of the trades we took this past week, because obviously, again, we killed it in this market. But I'll also want to announce a couple of things because I want you guys to look at certain things going into this week for specific reasons, which we'll get into. But like I said, this week is going to be another interesting week, another week where we try and make some money. But hey, if you guys don't know, we are officially in a bear market. So hopefully you guys are ready to make some money to the put side, but also there will be some opportunities to the call side as well. Now, the funny thing is, as you can see from the titles here, stock market bottom remains elusive. The market is melting down, blah, blah, blah. You're seeing all these things, deep bear market. You're seeing all these things. Crypto might have trouble, all these things, all the usual fear, uncertainty and doubt. But guess what, guys? I'm thinking tomorrow, Monday, is bullish. And you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? But the reason being, this past Friday was options expiration, so OPEX. Typically, the Mondays after OPEX are actually bullish. So not only tomorrow could be bullish, but this could be a bullish week overall for the markets. But like I said, short term, I really do expect the markets to continue being bearish. Now, you see I've just jumped on the trading view. I'm going to look at a few charts because I believe, even though I think tomorrow is going to be bullish, I do believe there are still opportunities to the put side. This past week, we killed it with Tesla puts, SPY puts, AMD puts, also SPY calls and AMD calls. But I'm going to be looking at a few different stocks to play both ways this week. Hold on a second. One thing I forgot to mention. This will also be another interesting week for earnings because Nvidia are reporting, Snowflake are reporting, Alibaba, Costco are reporting. And I think we could see some crazy movement from these stocks. So you also want to keep your eyes out for those. But not only that, there are going to be some stocks which I believe could be making new all-time lows. Stocks such as Netflix, stocks such as Coinbase, stocks such as Robinhood. But anyway, let's jump into these charts and see what opportunities lie before our eyes. So first of all, I'm going to go with Chewy, ticker symbol CHWY. So when you look at the daily chart for Chewy, what's the first thing you notice? Let's have a look. What's the first thing you notice? It's very clearly bearish, trending below all the moving averages, trending below any support or resistance zones. Clearly, it's just been tanking for the past few months. And on Friday, it dropped 2%. So I'm looking at puts for Chewy below 24.16. Let's just mark that level out. Let me show you guys that level. 24.16. Right, somewhere around there, okay? Puts below that level, right there. You can see it closed just above that level the past couple trading days. Well, past few trading days, it's closed just above that level. I'm looking for puts below 24.16 for Chewy. Once that happens, I think it will drop to around, $23, maybe slightly under $23. That's definitely what I'm looking at. So I'll look at the $23.50 puts expiring this week. If it does decide to push up, that could be interesting. I may look at the $25.50 calls, maybe the $26 calls. But I do want to see if it can break above this moving average slightly and get a little bit of a push. I highly doubt it, so most likely I'll be trading puts for Chewy. Next up, let's look at Nvidia because they announced earnings this week. Chip sector reporting is always interesting, and Nvidia has been one of my stocks to watch the past couple of weeks. So as you can see, it's slightly above my level of support, slightly above a support zone as well on the daily chart. Now, I think this is on for more puts, but with earnings coming up, it could get that little push which we saw with AMD a couple weeks ago. The only problem with Nvidia contracts is they are extremely expensive. So if you're a big baller, feel free to play. Otherwise, if you don't want to spend $300, $400, $500 on one contract with a strike price, $10, $15 out of money, then maybe you just want to play something else because there's plenty of opportunities in this market as always. But like I said, Nvidia looks on for puts, maybe look for a push up towards the moving average and then a breakdown again. Next up, I'm going to look at Snow, ticker symbol SNOW. Yes, they report earnings this week as well. And this is a big mover. If you remember in the past, I've talked about this stock. When it does move, either way, it can move heavily in one day. Friday, it dropped 3.63%. Okay, nothing crazy. Other days, if you check out the 1 hour chart, other days it's done crazy movements. It will jump up $17, $18 in a day. Similar to Nvidia, to be honest. Could that day push up? This day pushed up. Other days it sold off. So what would I be looking at for snow? Again, more puts. Now I know the last 3 hours closing Friday it ran up, but I think that's a push up before the sell off, as happens with so many different stocks. Just check this out. Bearish in the daily, closed slightly above the moving average, but hey, it's going to be dropping for me. It's going to be dropping to what lows? I'm not even sure. If you want to gamble with this one, if we look at previous levels, guess what? This is the lowest, well, around the lowest it's ever been. So maybe snow is making all-time lows this week. Wow, this is actually really crazy. I mean, it's been a difficult market for many stocks, but I didn't realize snow was, yeah, this $125, $127 around there. That's what I'll be looking at for snow if I am looking at getting in on the puts. Okay, next up, 2 stocks from the Chinese sector. First, we're going to go with the electric vehicle company NIO, ticker symbol NIO. NIO, here we go, guys. I'm finally looking at call options. So I'll be looking at the $17 or $17.50 calls. What I'll be looking at is a drop towards the resistance level, a test, and a push upwards on a daily chart. So there is something positive here. Look, on the daily chart, it's been rising the last 5 days. It's hit that support zone, started pushing up, past another support zone. So hit the daily support zone, started pushing out, broke the weekly support zone. Now it's just broken out of the weekly resistance zone. And I'm pretty confident this is on for calls. When I will get in my calls? Around $16.70. So if I draw that line for you guys, $16.70 around somewhere here. All right. So right now it's $16.44. Remember, it closed below this level. If it pushes above that level, here we are on for $17, $70.50 calls. I do like this one for calls this week, but also beware, it can be on for puts. If it does fall back into these zones and starts downtrending, then you guys know what to do. UPST is up next. UPST has been one of those erratic stocks for the past couple weeks. Just check the chart out. Look at that crazy drop after earnings. Ridiculous drop. Fell right to the support zone on a daily and has been uptrending since. So it dropped 13.34% Friday. And 2 things I want to point out. Long-term holds with UPST and short-term puts. It's still under the moving averages on the daily chart. If you look at the weekly chart, still extremely bearish. Look at the 4-hour, still bearish, below this support zone, below all the moving averages. 1 hour, well, this is the 2-hour, below the moving averages, about to fall below the support zone on the 4-hour. Checking the 1-hour chart, still bearish, so you guys get the gist, right? I'm looking at puts for UPST. How will I play this? A push up towards this resistance zone. When it gets rejected, I expect it to fall back down. So push to around $44.83, maybe $45, and then a drop down again. If you can catch one of these 13% days, you're going to make bank on this one. But again, long term, I do like it. Check this out. Daily chart. Now you get my idea, right? Why I like it. It was just at $165 a couple of months ago. It was just at, now we really need to zoom out further, $410 in October, November. So long term, I do like this one. It hasn't been at levels this low since March 2021, so over a year ago. So do look at those long-term holds as well. I just realized after NIO, I didn't go to the second Chinese stock, which is Alibaba, also reporting earnings this week. So for Alibaba, we're looking at puts again, but this time to the daily support zone. So it's about a $6 or $7 drop, which is very easy for Alibaba. It can do that in a couple of days. This will probably be a swing trade. Here we go. But do beware of the earnings, 26th of May, which is Thursday, I believe. So it could end up dropping to these levels, but also pushing up either before or after. I'm not entirely sure, right? If we look back at last earnings, it was pretty erratic, right? So just beware of that as well. But Alibaba, I will be looking at puts down to around $81, $80. 1-hour chart, just so you guys can get a better idea. And now let's look at some stocks which may make a new all-time low this week. Coinbase, as you guys saw in the first couple minutes of this video, they were talking about crypto getting destroyed. Coinbase is at $66. It is being getting destroyed. Coinbase IPO'd last year at like $100 and something. It's dropped like 50% since. Coinbase could be dropping to new all-time lows this week. I don't know. I mean, we'll just have to have a look and see how the market reacts. Then Netflix and Robinhood as well. Netflix is $186, but I do expect it to drop to around $166 sometime this week. Well, when I say expect, I will be looking to see if that could happen possibly this week, but I do think by the end of the month. And then Robinhood, symbol HOOD, currently $10. I'm waiting to see if this can drop back to this support zone on a daily around $8. I'm intrigued to see if that can happen this week. Remember, $2 drop is like 25%, so just beware of that. Well, 20%. And I did want to touch on SPY because we made money off SPY and AMD and Tesla this past week. SPY clearly bearish, hit new lows this past week. Could be hitting those new lows again, but hey, you can make money when it drops like that. Only options traders get excited when stocks like SPY or the overall market drop heavily. Only options traders get extremely happy when Tesla drops like it did on Friday, where we banked and saw returns of over 500%. Look at the 1 hour chart from Friday. Look at that drop. That blue arrow is where we entered, where I called it out in the group. And we saw it all the way down to $630 from opening around $690 something. Look at a $45 drop. Crazy. And then AMD, of course, we ripped AMD different ways, up, down, calls, puts this past week again. 1 hour chart, you can see it was a bit of a roller coaster ride this past week, but you can make money on either way of the trade, as I've said multiple times before. So that's mainly it for this week. Another thing I want you guys to look out for is Apple, if it can get back to 140 this week. Again, long-term shares on Apple are definitely a nice possibility. Look, shares around $130 are a steal. Long-term with Apple, you're going to be thanking yourself that you bought in May 2022 when it gets back to these levels, 150, 160, 170, up to highs of 182 again. And last one, actually, just your lotto or whatever you want to call it, BBIG. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about BBIG. Could BBIG start pushing up this week and hit new all-time highs? That is something to look out for. BBIG, keep that on your radar. We'll see what happens. But overall, the main watch list will be in the Discord, so come and check out the Discord, the Royal Trading Academy. Also check out the Stock Option Starter Pack. That is 10 videos you'll have access to for your whole life. And as always, check out all the other links in the description below. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure to drop a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and also share these videos. I go into making, you go into making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace. Game.